The night shift on Deep Space Listening Post 9 was always quiet. The station floated high above a lonely moon, far from trade routes, far from danger, far from anything that could disturb the silence. The young officer on duty, Lieutenant Aaron Hale, often said the same line every night: "Nothing happens here." But tonight, he was wrong. Aaron sat alone inside the small control room, listening to the soft hum of machines. Around him, screens showed empty space and routine readings. He sipped cold tea, fighting sleep. The room was warm, and his chair felt too comfortable. He blinked slowly, eyes growing heavy. Then the silence broke. A sharp electronic beep cut through the air. Aaron jumped, spilling tea on his uniform. One screen flashed red, showing a broken signal wave. At first he thought it was an air dust, interference, a glitch. But the signal grew stronger, shaking the speakers. It was an SOS, not a normal one, not clean, not calm. It was distorted, full of static and fear. A trembling voice cracked through the speakers. "Etch, help, they, coming. Please, anyone, please help." Aaron froze. His heart thumped against his chest. He turned every dial, trying to clean the signal. The voice came again, even weaker this time, like it was dying. "They destroy everything, no warning, no mercy. Someone help us." Then silence. Aaron felt cold. The room felt smaller. Every hair on his arm stood straight. He ran a quick scan to find where the signal came from. The result made his hands shake. The SOS came from a peaceful alien colony called Allosaur, a small community known for art, farming, and gentle living. They never fought anyone. They never joined any war. They avoided conflict like a sickness. If someone attacked them, then the enemy was dangerous enough to challenge anyone in the galaxy. Aaron did not waste a second. He hit the emergency alert. Red lights flashed across the station. Officers woke from sleep and rushed to their posts. Commanders arrived angry and confused. "What is happening?" "A broken SOS, sir," Aaron answered, voice shaking. "It came from Allosaur." The room went silent again. Everyone understood the weight of those words. Peaceful colonies never send SOS messages, lest the situation is truly hopeless. The signal was forwarded to Earth's High Command. The message moved faster than light, jumping from station to station, reaching every important desk within minutes. In the war room on Earth, generals listened to the broken voice. No one moved, no one breathed. Then the oldest general in the room spoke quietly. "If a gentle world calls for help, then this enemy will not stop with them." Another general nodded. "If we do nothing, more worlds will fall. Maybe even ours." The decision was made instantly. Humanity would answer the SOS. The Deathworlders would strike back. Preparations began across human space. Engines awakened. Warships powered up. Dockyards lit up like daytime all over Earth. People watched the news. The video of the cracked SOS played again and again. The message echoed through every home. "They are coming. They want everyone gone. Please help." His families held hands. Students looked at the sky. Soldiers checked their gear. Deathworlders lived by one rule: no SOS is ignored. On the launch decks of Earth Fleet Command, thousands of soldiers stood ready. Their armor reflected bright white lights. Their weapons hummed with power. Above them, giant starships waited with open doors. Aaron was transferred to the flagship, Horizon's Wake, to help decode the message. It was an honor, but it also felt like a weight on his chest. When he boarded the ship, saw the human fleet preparing for departure. It was the largest force he had ever seen. Huge destroyers, fast strike ships, heavy carriers, every kind of vessel humans had created, but one ship stood out. Massive white medical cruiser with a red cross glowing on its hull. Even this gentle, the ship was coming with them, prepared to save whoever survived on Allosaur. "Do you think we're too late?" A soldier beside Aaron asked quietly. Aaron did not know what to say. He simply looked at the silent stars outside the window. Finally he whispered, "We won't know until we get there." "Hey, the main admirals." Voice echoed through every ship. "Deathworlders of Earth. Today we answer a call no one else could. We do not run from danger. We do not wait for others to act. We protect those who cannot protect themselves. Prepare for hyperspace jump. The engines across the fleet roared. Light poured across the dark space like fire. Aaron held his breath as the countdown began. 5, 4, 3, 2. He thought about the broken voice, the fear, the silence after. 1, jump. Space folded like liquid. Colors stretched, stars twisted. The fleet jumped into hyperspace, heading toward an unknown enemy, an unknown danger, and an unknown fate. The only thing they knew for sure was this: someone had hurt the innocent. The Deathworlders were coming, and nothing in the galaxy could stop them now. The hyperspace jump ended with a sharp flash of white light. Every screen on the flagship, Horizon's wake flickered for a second, then slowly revealed the view outside. The human fleet had arrived at the Allosaur star system. At first, everything looked calm. Too calm. No ships, no movement, no lights. Only the soft glow of the nearby sun. Aaron felt a strange pressure in his chest. The silence did not feel empty, felt wrong. Like the whole system was holding its breath. The Admiral's voice came through the ship's speakers. All units begin scanning. We need to know what happened here. The scanners lit up with thousands of readings. Within seconds, the truth started to appear. And it was worse than anyone expected. All around the system floated broken satellites, cracked open like eggs. Fuel tanks drifted slowly, leaking glowing liquid into the dark. Old defense towers were nothing but twisted metal. Human fighter pilots whispered inside their helmets. What kind of enemy does this much damage? No one we know. Something hit them hard and fast. As the fleet moved closer to the colony planet, the destruction became clearer. Pieces of ships floated everywhere, burned metal, shattered. Wings, even entire bridge sections, drifting with no life inside them. Aaron closed his eyes for a moment, trying to steady his breathing. The SOS message was no longer a mystery. The colony had been attacked with incredible force, but by who? The ships finally reached orbit. The colony below was nearly unrecognizable. Cities were dark, farmland was scorched. Tall spires once filled with music and peace were now broken and empty. Smoke rose into space like thin black fingers. A soft gasp filled the flagship bridge. Aaron could not look away. He had seen war before, but this was different. This was not a battle, it was erasure. The Admiral leaned forward. Prepare landing teams. We will search for survivors. Dropships launched from carriers and shot down toward the planet. Their engines left bright trails across the sky. Aaron joined one team, carrying his scanner and data tablet. The dropship shook as it entered the atmosphere. Flames licked the windows. After a tense descent, they landed in the middle of what used to be the colony's capital. The moment the door opened, a wave of burnt air rushed inside. The ground was covered in dust and ash. Buildings were half collapsed, with beams sticking out like bones. Not a single living creature moved. The team spread out carefully. Stay alert, the squad leader warned. Something here is not right. Aaron activated his scanner. It beeped softly, picking up weak energy signatures. They followed the readings through damaged streets until they reached a cracked stone hall. Inside, they found something unexpected. Survivors. A group of 11 Allosaur citizens huddled together in the darkness. Their skin was pale, their eyes wide with fear. They wore torn clothes and carried almost nothing. When the humans entered, the survivors flinched. They trembled like cornered animals. Aaron slowly lowered his weapon and removed his helmet. We are here to help. We received your SOS. An elderly Allosaur woman stepped forward. Her voice shook. You should not have come. Why? Aaron asked softly. They are coming back, she whispered. They always come back. We hid underground for days. They searched for us. They destroyed everything. Who attacked you? Aaron asked. The woman opened her mouth to answer, but a sudden alarm screamed through Aaron's scanner a second later. The sky outside turned bright orange. The enemy had returned. Dropships above the city were hit by glowing energy beams. Huge explosions shook the ground. Dust and fire shot upward like geysers. The humans ran outside and saw dozens of unknown enemy ships descending through the clouds. They looked like dark blades cutting through the sky, sharp, silent, and deadly. No signals, no lights, no warnings. The human squad leader shouted, "Everyone to cover! Enemy attack incoming!" The survivors screamed and hid behind walls as energy blasts rained down. Erin grabbed the old woman's arm. "We must move." "Run," she whispered. "Run before they tear you apart like they did to our world." The human fleet in orbit reacted instantly. Fighters launched. Destroyers turned their cannons. Missile bays opened. The Admiral spoke through every communicator with a voice of iron. "Deathworlders, we hold the line. Protect the survivors. Stop the enemy at all costs." The first wave of human fighters clashed with the enemy ships above the ruined city. Explosions lit the sky with bright white flashes. Smoke twisted upward in long spirals. Erin and his squad guided the survivors to an old bunker. Enemy blasts hit the ground behind them, sending chunks of stone flying in all directions. The heat from the explosions burned the air, just as they reached the bunker doors. Erin looked up. He saw the enemy ships swarming like insects, fast, ruthless, coordinated. The Admiral's voice echoed again, this time with thunder. "All ships, prepare full strike. Deathworlders, strike back." And in that moment, every human heart turned to fire. The scene exploded with sound missiles launching, railguns firing, ships charging forward. The sky became a war zone of flashing lights and roaring engines. Part 2 ends with one truth. The enemy had returned to finish the job, but they did not expect humanity. They did not expect Deathworlders, and now the real battle was about to begin. The sky above the ruined colony turned into a burning storm. Every cloud flashed with explosions. Every second shook the ground. Every heartbeat carried danger. Erin stood at the bunker door, staring upward as the first human warships dived through the atmosphere. Their metal hulls glowed red from the heat, engines roaring like thunder. Fighter jets streaked behind them, leaving long trails of bright blue flame. The enemy ships responded instantly. Dark metal blades sliced through the air, firing beams of orange light. Their attacks were faster than any species Erin had ever seen. But the humans did not slow down. They pushed forward. They wanted to end this inside the bunker. Allosaur survivors trembled with fear, watching Erin through the small doorway. Some prayed softly. Others hugged their children. They knew the enemy returned again and again. But they had never seen a force stand up to them. Not until now. The squad leader grabbed Erin's shoulder. "We have to seal the entrance." Erin shook his head. "Not yet. I'm not leaving our fighters alone." He looked up again. The sky exploded with life. The human destroyer's solar wing fired its railguns, sending long white streaks across the clouds. The shots hit enemy ships with crushing force, breaking them apart like glass. Several enemy vessels spiraled downward, crashing into the ground. With fireballs that lit up whole city blocks, the Admiral's voice thundered through every communicator. "Deathworlders. Form attack pattern, A13. Break their formation, push them away from the planet." Human pilots responded with a chorus of confirmations. Thousands of ships moved like a single creature. Erin felt pride rise in his chest. This was what humanity was known for: fighting together, thinking together, surviving together. But the enemy fought back with equal fury. More ships dropped out of the clouds. Their numbers grew. Their blasts became faster and heavier. One human frigate took a direct hit and exploded in a ball of blue fire. Debris rained down across the city. Erin clenched his teeth. "We have to support them." The squad leader nodded and opened a secure line. "Ground squads to fleet. We are under heavy fire. We need close support." A second later, the medical cruiser, the massive white ship with the glowing red cross, descended toward the battlefield. Despite being built for rescue, not war, it moved into the center of the fight without hesitation. Human soldiers on the ground watched in shock. "They're putting themselves in the line of fire. You're crazy." "No," Aaron said softly. They're brave. Enemy ships targeted the medical cruiser immediately, firing dozens of beams at it. But the cruiser's shields flared bright red, absorbing the hits. Smoke rose from its sides. But it did not fall back. It stood between the survivors and the enemy. Like a wall of steel and light, human destroyers moved beside it. Forming a protective barrier, the admiral spoke again. No civilian dies today. Guard the cruiser at all costs. The battle intensified. Human fighters looped through the sky, firing rapid bursts of plasma. Enemy ships exploded in bright flashes. But the enemy kept coming, more shapes, more beams, more danger. Aaron and the squad rushed outside to help guide the medical teams. Burning debris fell around them, but they kept moving. Soldiers carried injured Allosaur survivors to safety. Medics treated burns and wounds right on the ground above them. A massive enemy ship appeared bigger than anything seen so far. Its hull was pitch black, absorbing all light around it. The air vibrated. Even from the ground, Aaron could feel its presence like a cold shadow creeping over his skin. The squad leader whispered that must be their command ship. The command ship fired one enormous energy beam toward the surface. The light grew brighter and brighter enough to blind anyone looking directly at it. Aaron's heart stopped. That beam can destroy the whole city. But before the blast hit, a giant silhouette moved in front of it. The medical cruiser. Taking the full attack head-on, the beam tore across its shields, causing an explosion of red sparks. A loud roar echoed through the sky as the cruiser's hull shook violently. Alarms blared across every human ship. Aaron felt his throat tighten. If that ship falls, everyone dies. The admiral responded with pure steel in his voice. All fleet units target the enemy command ship. Fire. Everything. The humans unleashed chaos. Railguns, missiles, plasma lances, torpedoes, every weapon fired at once. The sky lit up in blinding white light. The command ship trembled under the impact. Its hull cracked open. Fire exploded from its sides. Still, it did not fall. Human fighters dived close and targeted weak points. One pilot shouted, "I see an opening." Going in? The fighter disappeared into a burning cloud. Then a shockwave burst out. The command ship split in half. Both halves erupted into blue flames, falling downward like dead giants. Enemy signals across all scanners went silent. The remaining enemy ships broke formation, panicked, and tried to flee, but humanity did not let them escape. They chased them out of the sky. Minutes later, the battle was over. Silence returned to the ruined colony. But this time, the silence felt alive, warm. Hopeful human ships hovered above the city, scanning for threats. Medical drones flew everywhere. Survivors walked out of shelters, staring at the sky in disbelief. Aaron watched them step into the sunlight. Children clung to their parents. The elderly cried softly. All of them looked up at the human fleet with gratitude and awe. The old Allosaur woman approached Aaron. "You answered our SOS," she whispered, "and you saved us." Aaron felt the weight finally lift from his chest. "We came because no one should suffer alone." The woman looked at the sky again. "Your people, your Deathworlders, are not just strong, you are kind." The news spread across the galaxy in hours. The Deathworlders answered the SOS, and their fury saved a world. Every species learned a new rule that day. A rule carved in fire and courage: never harm the innocent. Because humanity will come, and humanity will not stop.